Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we finally got him in the building, man. That's what it is.
We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're
Yeah.
listening
John
to the
Wright.
hottest internet station.
BLDradio.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, my brother, but we got you right. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing awesome, man. Hey, thank you so much for your perseverance, man. It's a difficult job what you do for sure, and it just shows how difficult it is,
Yes.
but how much trouble we're having. So,
Yes, sir. We film, we edit, we mix, we master, and I'm the engineer, so it's hard to be the engineer and run the show. We was having problems with our cameras, but we got everything back. You know, once in a while happens. Computers are fallible, but I want the people to know who you are, man. I've been bragging on you. I've been telling everybody I know about you, but
oh
all
man,
the discussions that you send me a lot of stuff, and all the discussions you have over the text, I wanted you to bring forth to the people. So let the people know who you are, man, and what you do, man.
okay. Well, I'm John Wright. The police are coming. They're going to look for a paycheck here. Hold on. We got a legal system. We don't have a justice system. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's an ambulance right there. So anyhow, but no, I'm John Wright. I started the United States Cultural Preservation Society this year. I think the United States is on its way to losing its culture, losing the country altogether. Uh, it's been happening a long time. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. I was a
Yes, sir.
musician. When I grew up in the 70s and 80s, everyone wanted to be a musician. We had MTV, we had bars that people used to play music at and stuff like that. And uh, it was very inexpensive to live. And now it is not inexpensive. It's very expensive to live nowadays. It's very difficult, and it's very opposite of the way it used to be in the 70s and 80s and 90s. And now everyone's striving. I mean, everything is, if you don't have your wallet on you, oh my goodness. Heck, you might go to jail if you don't have your driver's license on you now. Or heck, if you run
Yes.
out of gasoline, what are you going to do if you don't have $5 on you, 20 bucks? I mean, you remember when gasoline was 99 cents a gallon and a pack of cigarettes is $2? It's not the
Not
same way
anymore.
anymore. So anyway, so I was a musician, and so that's the reason why I'm so kind of passionate about this subject. Why the society is collapsing is because I like to play music, and there's all the places to play music are closing down. And because people can't really afford to have live music anymore. They can't even afford. A lot of places can't afford to have a karaoke DJ anymore. We're just gonna have the jukebox on. So
Yeah.
anyway, so I worked in politics for a little bit, and so that's a little bit about me. So, and I can talk more. So, but
So, do
tell me.
you think the inflation has anything to do with how do they say urban renewal, like to move some of the poor folks out of the inner cities out to the suburbs so they can so the government can like dominate all the good parts of the land?
Oh no, I think that's the media placing blame. Because the media wants to blame white people for being bad and evil towards black people, and the media wants to blame black people for
Definitely.
being lazy and being they don't want to work. We're going to put them in a high rent district area because they can't afford. I think it's just the media placing blame, and so I don't think.
Hmm.
I don't think too much about that. They're stealing our rights, our liberties, and our pursuit of happiness through health care is so doggone expensive. We got education
Yes.
so doggone expensive. We got rent
Yes.
right now so doggone expensive. And so when I was in college studying jazz guitar, I had an 1,800 square foot apartment in downtown Dallas for
Wow.
$600 a month.
Wow.
3 bedroom.
Wow.
That apartment today is probably $3,000. $3,000 easy. So it's I was
Wow.
paying six. I could get a job. I had a job as I delivered pizzas, and I also worked at a sandwich shop. That's how I paid for and I went to school too. And so it's
Yeah.
like that's in 1994, 1993. Kids can't do that today. It doesn't
But
matter what
everything
color
is
you are.
like
So
it seems like everything, every city I go to, they have this regentification thing like going on. Do you see that?
I haven't been keeping too much attention to that. I don't know. I don't know much about that. You'll have to send me some paperwork on it, or I'll look into it. I just been I've been writing my books, and I've been working on the United States Cultural Preservation Society, and I've been
Yes, sir.
trying to live as much as I'm just trying to live. Work. At the same time is very difficult. So it's very expensive. Gasoline is just crazy expensive. So
I heard in Cali it's like $7 for a gallon, almost seven,
yeah,
either 7 or almost 7. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. And in Tennessee, it's almost four.
Wow. So
Tennessee's four
so
dollars
you're
a gallon.
you're author of like 45 books, right? How many books you wrote?
Oh,
Let
I've
the people
written
know.
this year. I've written about 7 books altogether and 2 documentary films, and so I've written 5 books this year. And the reason I've written so much is because AI has helped me edit my books. Now I can edit, and
Yeah.
so now
But you
because I
have
don't have to pay
audiobooks as
someone.
well, right?
Yeah,
How many audiobooks you got?
5.
And let the people know where they can get them.
You can get them on my website, uscps.org. That's the United States Cultural Preservation Society. Okay. And so they're very important books because what they do is they teach you how to lower the cost of your healthcare system. So I teach people about the U.S. healthcare system from 1946 to 1973. It was absolutely free. It didn't matter what color, what race you were. You just had to be an American citizen, and it was absolutely free to go to the hospital. It's called the Hill-Burton Act, and so I write about that, and in my book called "The History of the U.S. Healthcare System," and I talk about how the different laws that were enacted, and it raised the price. These politicians worked with lobbyists and Wall Street brokers. The Wolf of Wall Street, wanting to get money
Hmm.
off of the sweat of other people's labor. So they they've throughout the years have written laws to make our health care more expensive. And so of course everyone in the United States needs health care. It doesn't matter what color you are, what language you speak. You're
Yes,
going to get
sir.
sick eventually. And so you're going to have to. And so that's the reason why they want to take control of it, just like they want to take control of the gasoline. They want to take control of our energy. Is well, because everyone has to use it to heat their homes or cool their homes or drive to work. So they want all this stuff. They want to control it, and that's the reason why they've made a monopoly of it, and now they can just raise the price of however high they want it to. And then they say, well, the reason why everything's expensive is because we have to do this regentrification deal. We have to put all these people in this one neighborhood, or we have to. They'll blame the different races, and we'll have us fighting each other over the
Yes.
scraps that come from their table. And
Yes.
so anyhow, so go ahead if you have any more
Yes.
questions. So I hopefully I answered that to you the best I could. So
Yes, sir. I mean, you have a lot of deep views, like you was telling me about the music industry and about COINTELPRO. Like I want you to get those views out, man. You're pretty deep. You know what I mean?
with the
So
FBI and COINTELPRO.
yeah.
So
Oh,
oh
and about the music, you were saying how they use it for control, and it made a lot of sense.
oh yeah. Well, see. All right. So let me wait for this truck to go by. All right. So,
Uh-huh.
okay, so there's a band called Steppenwolf, right? Steppenwolf was one of the grandfathers of rock and roll, and they
Yes,
had a
sir.
song called "Born to Be Wild," right? And so Steppenwolf was named after a book called Steppenwolf, and the book was about losing your mind and to your emotions, pulling the animal out of your body, out of your cognitive mind, and just losing control and just doing what you want to do anytime you want to do it, right? That's called anarchy, right? And so
Yes.
anyway, that's not a godlike cognitive mind. So we know what's right and wrong because the Bible tells us what's right and wrong, right? And so we know we have emotions. We know not to. But so there's a book called Steppenwolf that came out. and in the 19th century, right? And it was about teaching young, influencing youth to act sinful, act animal-like, and to you go into their emotions and just go into be go into whatever feels good, do it,
Yeah.
and so this is the beginning of counterculture here in the United States.
And look where it's
Was
at
when
now.
yeah, and
Look,
so Steppenwolf. That's why they named the band and created the band, was financed probably by the CIA. I don't know if it was exactly where the band was financed and created by, but I do know that that's the reason why they named the band Steppenwolf, is to
wow.
create, is to create that type of emotion out of mankind now. So now we have the, if it feels good, do it, and so then you
And
get
that's
this,
what these kids do because they be on everything nowadays. If
yeah.
it feels good to them, they do it. It's like, no, from my era, maybe you might cross the line, smoke a little weed, drink a little wine. That was it.
Yeah,
Now these kids is on everything. It's so crazy, man.
I
It's
know
crazy.
it, and that's what the Bible. The Bible's not there to tell us that we're bad and all this stuff because we drink, we smoke some herb and stuff like that. But it anchors us. It gives us morals. It gives us boundaries. And so
Yes.
if you don't have those boundaries, if you don't have that empathy of doing wrong when you're doing wrong, you're doing wrong. If you don't have that thought of like, oh well, I'm doing wrong if I'm doing this. Well, that's
Yeah.
where it breaks. Do as thy willest. That's Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley is
Yeah.
the
Aleister
founding
Crowley was
father.
real deep.
Yeah, he was the founding father of Satanism. Modern day Satanism. And so, but
Yes.
anyhow, and so
A
that was
trust
his
fund. He was a
mantra.
trust fund. He was a trust fund kid, and he just spent this money traveling the world. I saw a documentary when he slept inside the pyramid one night, and he was explaining what he felt and what he heard, and it was pretty deep. And in life, in order to experience extreme happiness, you have to know what extreme sadness is. My mother always used to say, on a strong foundation, that you could build anything. You could build a skyscraper, meaning with that religious foundation, it does give you like an anchor point, like you know what I mean. So that makes plenty of sense, man. That rings bells here, man.
Oh,
So
cool, man.
if I wanted to get your book and I wanted to buy it, my listeners, the people who wanted to buy it, where should they go?
They can
Once
go to
again,
and
I
they can
know
go
you
to
said it earlier, but
Amazon.com and look for John Wright, or they can go to uscps.org, uscps.org, and you have all the books are at the bottom of my website down there, and all my audio books are for $10, and my paperback books are for $25, plus shipping and handling. I'm thinking about lowering them back down to about, 15.99 or something like that, but they're I did a
and if
lot
you
of
had
time
and if you
writing,
had
so
I'm sorry to cut you off. If you had to pick one for like your first read out of all your collection, which one would you pick?
well, it depends what you're really into, but I would probably the Baby Boomers and the Queen. You can get it, and it's a fable that a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old can read and understand, and that's the reason why I wrote it. And it's the history of our economic system from 1945 to today, and it just goes about how the Baby Boomers invested in our destruction, and so
Give
that's
an
what
example. Give an
like.
example.
Like, okay, so like we're going to say, okay, so we used to have free healthcare system, right? And so what we're going
Uh
to
huh.
do is we're going to organize the lobbyists and our politicians to write laws in ordering for us to buy our healthcare from them, or we're going to create a war, right? And we're going to invest in, like stockbrokers do. Stockbrokers invest money in companies. So we're going to invest in money in a company that has a government contract that kills our friends, family, and neighbors in wars that don't need to happen.
Yes. Yes, because a lot of them don't, man. It's over. I used to think it was over resources. Now I just think they just needed to go on just to generate revenue for it.
Yeah, they're just lighting off firecrackers, man.
Yeah,
Big expensive
and I
firecrackers.
and I think the head. the head of all the states of the world, like in conjunction with it. Like this is how it's gonna go down. You know what I
Well,
mean?
this is, and so if you can read my books, well, if you read my book, the history of environmentalism, man's war against God. It talks about depopulation. Throughout there. In my film, A History of the New World Order, Part One, I talk about the last chapter of it, last act, where it's all about the Bush family. The whole act is about the Bush family, all part one, two, and three. And H.W. used to be president, but it was George W.'s father. His dad invested in Adolf Hitler. Not only that, he created the CIA, and Margaret Sanger, who created Planned Parenthood. But, he wrote a
Wow.
paper in 1967 called, man, he was head of the Natural Resource Council. And so that's how they're going to control natural resources. David Rockefeller was head of the council. And so they're going to depopulate the planet. And how they're going to do it? One is to keep people away from healthcare. Two, they were going to create wars to kill people. Right? That's
And
and
famine and
pestilence. Yeah. So
disease.
yeah, well, that's if we keep people away from healthcare, that's what disease is going to take care of them. Look at Africa. That's the reason Africa is purposely destroyed by the environmental movement. The environmental movement was created by the British to control India. I mean, how else does a population of 30, 40 million people control 1.1 billion persons? Right? You have to control, you can't use a military to control a billion people if you're only a
Yes.
population of 40 million. So you
Yes.
control their natural resources, you can control them.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the oldest trick in the book, divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, man. It's so deep. Every time I talk to you, you leave me with food of thought, man. For real. You always hitting me with insightful things. I don't get to look at everything you send me because, as you know, I work, man. I produce. I move around a lot. But I told myself I'm definitely going to do a one-on-one with you because I want to get your views out. You know what I'm saying? I want to get your views out to my people, man.
Well, man,
It
I'm
definitely
glad
deep.
you're interested in the subject, man. So I'm glad you're interested. And I'm happy to talk to anyone who's willing to listen. So I know there's a lot of people out
Yeah.
there that these Republicans, these Democrats, they don't want to listen to anything. They just want to have they want their guy to win. They want their opinion. I told you that guy's terrible. Well, they're both
Yeah.
bad. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, yeah. It's like
Yeah,
voting for the lesser evil. But you
yeah.
know what? I look at it like buying a car. Your car might go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. My car might. It's just what you like,
Yeah.
And most of these people, they sell you on anything to get in office, but what they can really do in real life is two different things.
No, that's why you got to pay attention to your local politics. You got to pay attention to who's the mayor, because if the police are being authoritarian, which most of them are, you have to talk to the mayor about it. And the mayor's not going to help you with the police. You got to have one of your friends, family, neighbors run for mayor, and you fire that police chief. You say, we're not going to be doing this. We're not going to
Yes.
be arresting people or writing tickets for things that don't need to be written. We're not using the police as a source to raise revenue. And
Yeah, they
so,
got to maintain status quo. So a
yeah.
lot of those tickets be for new cars and badges. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know they're paying. I was running for mayor of Corpus Christi, man. A brand new cop car in Corpus Christi is $180,000. How the fuck? I didn't mean to curse, but I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Nah,
one
you
hundred
can
eighty thousand
curse.
dollars for
You
a
can curse.
car.
We don't have the FCC here at
Oh, okay.
BLDradio.com. You can say anything you fucking want. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but
Yes,
they
sir.
wanted so they wanted me to give the police $150 million more a year. The police have already gotten half our city budget, which is $600 million, right? And so we're giving them $600 million a year, and they're driving around writing us tickets for talking on our phone. They're writing us tickets for watering our lawn. It's just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And so I got the home builders association calling me on the phone saying, oh, their materials being stolen off the job sites. What do you want us to do about it? I said, shoot them son of a bitches between the ears, so we don't have to put them in jail because all the jails are full anyway. Just shoot them between the ears. And so Then they asked me, do I want to give the police more money? I said, no, I don't want to give them any more money. And then
Yeah.
everyone's like, ooh, and I
Well,
said, well,
I don't know. You're out in Tennessee here in Atlanta,
yeah.
especially like in DeKalb and in Fulton. They're only like at 3/4 or maybe just over half staffed, the police officers. So they're short staff here. So a lot of charges now they're not even writing up and taking you to jail for it now. Like
Well,
it's things they used to be on and so petty before because they show short staff they don't want you and they trying to avoid people going to jail now. So
Well,
that's
it
why
needs to
these
be
young
audited. The
guys are
whole
running
system
around
needs
so
to be
wild.
audited. The whole system needs to be audited. And so I was like, where is this money going? Are they doing their job correctly? Because I mean, I talked to people that were having, one lady, she called the hospital to get her an ambulance ride. They charged her $18,000 to take her a mile for an ambulance. And then
Dang.
and her two nieces were killed by a drug dealer who had a warrant out for his arrest for over a year. Corpus Christi is not a big town. You can drive across it in 15 minutes. There's no reason that should have happened. So at the same time, so I said, what we're going to do is we're going to audit the police, right? And then we're going to see if they're doing their job correctly. But at this time, we are going to make sure that ambulances are free for our citizens because the police don't charge you $18,000 to pick you up and take you to jail, right? That's a $20 Uber ride at the most. And so so we're not going to be charging people. We're not going to be bankrupting people when they're
Well,
sick.
that goes back to that book. These people need to get, like you said, the healthcare. That's part of the healthcare. They charge
History
you,
of the U.S.
overcharge you for
healthcare
everything.
system, yes sir, yes sir. So yeah,
Yes,
so
sir. That's
but
what it
anyhow.
is. So JT, man, do you think when you come down south with us, man, you want to come? We don't have a political show. We got a religious shows. We got hip hop shows. We got R&B, reggae.
Well, I used to be a
No
preacher, man. So I
political.
used to have my own church. For if you want to talk about God, man, we can talk about God as long as it, as long as the sun's up in the air. I talk about God all day long. So I need to start reading the Bible daily. I quit reading the Bible in a while, but anyhow, no, I'd love to come down and spend a couple days with you guys for sure in the studio. So
Yes, sir, man. We would love for you to come through. So let the people know before we sign off. I just really wanted to get the people to know you, man. Starting to see you a lot, And then I know with our shows we be clowning, so you're a little more serious. So I just wanted you to get all that stuff out, man. That you be always talking, that we always talk about. That you always send me information on. So let them know
cool,
one more
man.
time for our short bus listeners where to get your books, your audio books.
USCPS.org, United States Cultural Preservation Society.org, USCPS.org. Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And this is your boy Kareem Jamal. If you're looking to do your own podcast or you just want to get vent, maybe, holler at us, 404-468-7254, or hit us up at bldfilms@gmail.com. It's been a pleasure, JT, man. I hope I get to see you in the future real soon, man. Give them the name of that book one more time, man. Drill it in their head.
The history of the U.S. healthcare system.
Yes, sir, man. Make sure y'all support the brother. And we're signing out. I appreciate the love, my brother.
I love you too, man. You have a good day.
Peace. Peace. Like I said, that was my man, John Wright. Good brother, man. He always hitting me with insightful information. So I guess we're going to get into this song. We on the way out, like he said. Born to Be Wild. He said it was made by the government, so we're going to get Steppenwolf popping. Let's hear it. Because I think a lot of these cats nowadays, man, they are definitely born to be wild. These cats is crazy, but let's get it. Yes, sir. BLD Radio, if you want to do your podcast, hit me up, man, 404-468-7254. Yes, sir.
We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
BLDradio.com. Motor running. Head out on the highway. Looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a embrace. Fire all of the guns at once and explode into space. I like smoke and lightning, heavy metal thunder, racing with the wind, and the feeling that I'm under. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a love embrace. Fire all of the guns at once and explode into space. Like a true nature's child, we were born to be wild. We can climb so high, I never wanna die. Born to be wild. Born to be wild. Get your motor running.
Yeah.
Head out on the highway.
Yo, shout out to my man John Wright, man. It's the BLD radio show.
Whatever comes
That's how
our
we do
way.
it, man. Peace.
Yeah,